brought to you almost live from the Dude in the Basement Studios. Why? Because that's where the good stuff is. It's Sips, Suds, and Smokes with your smoking host, the good old boys. Suds, Suds, Suds. It's time for more Suds.
Hello. It's that time again.
Hello.
Nap time?
Yeah, for this show, that would be the name of that. Is it nap time yet?
No, silly.
Martha, take a nap before Jeopardy comes on.
This guy cannot get out
channeling
of
there. What dark
What
history
is that?
have
I
you
know.
uncovered there?
Hey, I know all about where this beer is from, so yeah.
Oh, boy. Welcome, everyone. This is a Suds segment
Quick, don't change the channel.
where good beer
Matlock is
meets
on.
very bad radio. I'm your hostess, good old gal Julieanna. And with me today are...
I'm your hostess, good old boy Dave.
Thank you. And good old boy Mike.
Hey, I'm here again.
Sadly.
Stop. And good old boy Caperton.
Hi.
Okay, now you have to talk in that voice for the whole show.
Well,
So
I think that's how I started the last one. So I just want to keep it
And then
real.
it went deeper as
I want
the...
to keep it real. That's where I live.
it's
where
like
you
the
live.
audience gets to hear him go through puberty as the show goes on. His voice gets deeper
is
and
true.
deeper.
Yeah. Okay.
More ways than one.
Well,
Wow.
today's episode...
I don't even know what that meant.
It's better that way.
Yeah, this probably is better.
That sums everything up for Dave. I don't know what that meant.
That's it.
It means skinny.
It's me in a nutshell.
That's French for skinny.
Yes.
Skinny
Look
in a
Right,
nutshell.
yeah.
Yes. Okay. Today's episode is a brewery takeover. Yay!
Yay.
We're going to be trying several beers. From,
That's all I care about.
Of course. It's all about the beer. We're going to be trying several beers from Saint Somewhere Brewing Company.
Where?
Saint Somewhere.
Where?
Somewhere.
We don't know where.
Tarpon Springs.
In Tarpon Springs, Florida.
Sorry, that bit sounded funnier in my head.
Spongapalooza.
All right. Useless information about Tarpon Springs.
Okay.
First off, do you know that the largest lottery winner in the history of the U.S. is in Tarpon Springs?
Jeez.
No way.
Yeah. Don't
Very
you remember
cool.
that whole thing, the Powerball thing, where they bought the ticket that actually gave it to somebody who was on them and they ended up winning? Yeah,
No.
that was Tarpon
I
Springs.
remember that story.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, cool.
Remember, the first rule of BS is how you sell it.
That's right. I believe it.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Okay.
Anything else?
Uh,
Spongapalooza.
a really good state park in Tarpon Springs, Spongapalooza. Yeah.
Yep.
Also home to a really great, PGA golf course. So,
Is it true that all their springs are covered with tarps?
negative.
Oh.
Tarpon
On
is a
them.
fish, Dave.
On them.
So,
Oh.
Spring.
Okay, I
Not
gotcha.
in them, but on.
yeah,
tarp on
that's
them.
right.
Tarp
gotcha.
on your springs.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Just
was
think of an endless
It's out of
stream
the way.
of, trailer
Nonsense.
homes,
Oh.
Yeah, nonsense. That works too.
Nonsense, yes. Okay. Dave,
Yes.
please give us a rundown of the beers that we're going to be talking about today.
Wow, this is pretty cool.
I can't say any of these names.
I'm going to
This
bet.
is going to be great.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm going to say there's a lot of French words on here, and
Yes.
there is no way he's going to get even half of these right.
Okay, so we've got Pas du Sol,
Ooh, only because we coached him about 18 times. So
and
very good, fabulous.
Lectio Divina,
Yep.
Traditionnel, Sergey, or as Mike would say, Serge,
Serge.
Bootyville, Very.
There you go. There.
I think that I may be a T.
If this beer's not called Bootyville, it should be.
It is, yes. I'm looking at it,
Uh,
and you're nailing it, actually.
Fraternité.
Yep.
Fraternité.
I think my bet is safe.
And Monsieur Ed.
Monsieur.
Which is French for Mr. Horse.
Right. Mr. Talking Horse. Wilbur.
So, if you'd like to sponsor Dave and French lessons next week, please send that check off to info@sipsudsandsmokes.com, care of Dave's French lessons.
Lesson 1, kissing.
La Bouteille. La Bouteille.
I'm way ahead of the class on this one.
On the road to Bouteilleville.
No, you're saying La Bouta. La Bouta. See, you know.
I think it's La Bouteille.
La
Well, the
Bouteille.
French already hate us, right?
Yeah.
So we're not really offending anyone.
Once again.
We're working on the Italians, okay? So we're working our way across.
We're coming for you,
Eastern
Italians.
Europe. That's right, yeah. But we're working our way all the way through Tarpon Springs in order to get there,
Yes,
you know,
that's
so
right.
that we, you know, offend them collectively. So
Yes, we're bringing the tarps.
yeah, I'm sure there's a vast contingency of people that actually would know these French words in Tarpon Springs. So
Could be.
Now
Yeah.
don't
Might be.
don't judge.
don't judge. I'm seeing these things hanging on the shelf in Publix. People going,
Yeah.
Martha,
I wish that were my Publix.
you got to get some of that Bootyville.
Clean up on aisle 6. Someone spilled the Bootyville.
the bottle of Bootyville.
Martha, pick up your teeth
Bootyville
and your
all
bottle,
over the aisle
okay?
6.
Yes.
All right.
Oh gosh.
We drink our Bootyville out of
Meanwhile,
red Solo
There's
cups.
more to this, isn't there?
I
Yeah,
think
we're not
so,
done
yes.
with the list.
Unfortunately.
No, we
Yeah.
did finish the list.
I did. I
We
read
did.
them all. Read every
Yeah.
dang one of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of beer on this show.
Monsieur.
As well as really
so a
bad
few
French
collaborations there, right?
Yes.
Yep.
There is. There is one with Jester King.
Fraternity. I'm sorry. Go
Oh
ahead.
yes, there is one with Jester King.
One with Green
Bootyville.
Bootyville with Jester King.
Yes.
How do you say Bootyville in Texas?
Louisville.
Bootyville. Y'all going down to Bootyville?
I can almost hear Jeffrey writing me an email now. Dear Mike, please stop.
I hate you so much.
Yes, and then the Monsieur Ed is a collaboration with Jester King from
One of the most
from Green Bench,
Green
rather.
Bench.
questionable
No, they're pretty close to each
labels.
Well, I was going to say, what is Tarpon Springs like? A couple hours north of
Half
St.
hour away from
Pete's?
Green Bench.
No, it's not that far.
No, okay,
Half hour.
I've
even
mapped
less.
it. It's about 30 or 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. And then
By
Fraternity.
horseback?
Well,
Were you
or
sober
by,
at the
by, I'm trying to think of a sea animal. Sea turtle.
Procedural. Yes.
They're
That's all I could
hideously
come up
fast.
with.
Yeah.
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 Pretty slow, aren't
Okay.
they?
And then
7 years by sea turtle. 10 minutes by car.
I had too much goulash. I'm slow. It slowed me
sluggish.
I like Caperton's first reaction when we said we were talking about Tarpon Springs. It was like, yeah, I've smoked a lot of weed there.
To be fair, he says
Allegedly.
that about every
allegedly.
place.
Yeah,
down.
right.
Never been there,
But
but they do have the Spongapalooza.
if he did go there,
If I did go there and I went to the Spongapalooza,
You know, of all the things that I would expect people to react to, that was not like in my top 400. So
maybe
know,
on the way to
like-
Spongapalooza.
you know,
while there
there's a
and on
good
the way
Publix,
back.
there's a great McDonald's there. I mean, you know, there are a lot of other natural targets. No,
Yeah,
you didn't go there at all.
buttload of sponges.
Sponges. They plop them down right on the pier.
Let's
Yeah?
tell everybody what we're going to be doing.
Okay,
Oh wow. Okay.
Do we know?
we can come back to
Yeah,
Spongapalooza.
for
Yeah,
sure.
we can come back. Okay. So, good boy Mike, why don't you read us?
Oh,
Yes, the ratings.
we're diverting. Yeah.
In your best Tarpon Springs.
Is that a dramatic pause? Is that what she was going for there? Let's
Did you have a stroke?
read the ratings for everybody.
Yes.
All right, Dave and I'll do this collectively. Dave, hold my hand.
No.
No. We'll actually be discussing and rating these beers from St. Somewhere today with the SUDS ratings plus our signature belching sounds. Here are those ratings now. Number 1, That sucks. Give me anything but a bud from aisle 14. Number 2. Was that a belch or did you break wind?
It smells out of both ends.
It's a common phrase in Tarpon Spring. Yeah. Number 3. Ah, what a relief. Finally took off those comfort shoes, those orthopedic, awesome jobs. So
those gel insoles
got that
get
good parking spot at the, at the bank today. Number 4, a body should really not make that sound.
That is said every minute of every day.
That is the most common phrase in Tarpon Springs. That body should not make that sound. That's the top phrase in Tarpon Springs.
That's their city motto.
Number 5. Listen to that hang time. Give me another. Now, actually, this sound actually comes from people that are imported from Ocala. They actually drive a little over the way, over to Tarpon Springs so they can.
You got to have a little bit of something going on.
Yeah, I mean, that's, the thing that they always tell people from Ocala is, please, be careful and make a sound that it's least distinguishing, So, Caperton, what would be that sound for you? Dare I ask? As he looks at us like, "Wow, Mike,
hi."
I'm not really.
I'm looking at pictures of Spongapalooza. Actually,
We'll be right back.
Rolling clouds and crashing surf. Iridescent dunes reflecting by the light of a rising, glowing moon. Seashore mesmerizing, night breeze hypnotizing. We've come across these back roads none too soon. Look to the left, to the right. Keep your eyes on the road, my darling, wondering if we're only passing through. Open roads and open windows, my hand is yours forever, sweet love.
Welcome back, everyone.
I mean, where would you put that in the hollows of information that you should really keep to yourself, that you were afraid of kudzu, Dave?
Well, think about it, though. That stuff, it grows everywhere.
It grows everywhere, Mike.
Caperton, seriously. I mean, if that is something very true, you should just keep that to yourself, man.
Well, look,
because unless there's
I
a
had
T-shirt
a fear
that says,
as a child
I am
that it
fearful
would
of
literally
kudzu.
crash through my window.
Yes, that stuff will grow everywhere.
That stuff might actually...
That stuff grows fast. Sorry. That's my only slip.
Okay, ladies and gents, hi, and welcome back to our show.
It's a good thing we haven't come back from
We are not
commercial yet.
talking about kudzu.
Really?
We are actually
that
in
could be
the
a good show.
Or sponges.
Caperton and kudzu.
Sponges.
Yes.
Dry hopping with kudzu.
Sponge-worthy episodes.
What would be our SUDS rating on that?
We don't have one that low.
We'd make one. Special consideration.
Spew into this.
Yeah.
Okay. We are in the midst of talking about a brewery takeover. And this brewery takeover is Saint Somewhere from Tarpon Springs, Florida.
G53, G5.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was the level of excitement at Tarpon Springs. I was channeling there.
I'm contagious.
Okay. So this is my love letter to Bob.
Wow, this will be interesting.
Bob, if you're listening, this is all.
We
Yeah.
love you.
Oh, I have a quick fun fact about Bob.
Dear Bob, I have a kudzu problem.
What about Bob?
It's spelled the same both ways.
It is. What do you call that? What's that
It's a
called?
palindrome.
Yeah.
Wow, those are big words for you guys. Way to screw up all the French words, but you got palindrome correct.
Okay.
Kind of like Thunderdome.
Well, anyways. Okay. So let's go back in time.
We don't have back in time music.
Okay, fine.
I'm uncomfortable going back.
Just to 2006.
Oh, thank God.
No, it's not that
I
far
thought
back.
it was before this beer.
No, it is before this beer. Stop it. So we're going to go back to 2006, okay? Now, granted, there's not a lot of funky breweries out there, but Mr. Sylvester has decided that he's going to open up a brewery.
Who the hell's Sylvester? I thought we were talking about Bob.
This is Bob. This is Bob. Bob Sylvester. Okay, fine. So at the time...
Putty cat.
What? Okay. So at the time when he opened up his brewery in Tarpon Springs, the only other brewery doing anything similar was Jolly Pumpkin, and they only had been open for a year and a half. So, like, in the scheme of things, when you think of these saisons and farmhouse ale type breweries, you know, there's a lot of them that have come online in the last few years, but to go back to 2006, I mean, that's, I don't know, to me that's really impressive. Yeah. Anyways, so he had been a home brewer, and then he decided that he was going to, you know, open up a brewery with his wife Anne, and he did. And out of this brewery, it was really quite interesting because they call themselves proudly a one-trick pony, being in the sense that they were brewing farmhouse ales in the old traditional style, and they started off really small, and then eventually they got picked up by Shelton Brothers, and they had this like great distribution, even though they are still kind of hard to find. I mean, they're in many states, but they just have limited amounts that are coming to each state because they're not huge in terms of
one bottle in every state.
whatever.
Good luck getting it.
Yeah, but the thing that I really like about them is that they are using the old traditional open fermentation styles in their brewing, and that their yeast strains are very old and traditional too. So luckily, if you go to their website now, their website is a little archaic, and Bob will admit that. But they are going to be upgrading their website really soon. They're actually opening another tap room really soon.
It's an important aspect of running your great brewery.
They moved everything, right?
Yes.
I mean, they moved the works. From the storage shed they were in, right?
Right.
It was sort of a...
Yeah.
They're doing a
Which
bed
was...
and breakfast.
I'm getting all in your...
No. Get all in my business.
Whoa.
That's fine.
Whoa. I'm all up in your intro.
Wow,
I mean, the business of the brewery.
I'm excited. I'm excited that they've moved, though.
No. Me too, because they're actually... The tap room is going to have a bed and breakfast, and it's going to be huge.
Yeah,
I mean, like in the scheme of things, it's going to be huge, but it's still really vintage. And also, what I love about it is if you look at the artwork, it's some of the artwork that's on these, that's on the labels of the bottles. They're using an artist that is local from Tarpon Springs, and he's like kind of like an old master type of artist. So he's got that old feel, which kind of goes along with which goes along with the beer.
He's 104 years old.
It sort of reminds me of sort of like fantasy / science fiction artwork a little bit.
Yeah, but but it also has this like really...
It's gorgeous. It's beautiful stuff.
No, it is. And I think that's what drew me at first was the labeling. And then I had my first bottle of the Lectio Divino. Mm-hmm. And I found it like randomly in Huntsville, Alabama.
It's like 1930s wine ads or something on those labels.
Yeah. Actually, like more like Art Deco.
Art Deco-ish.
Yeah.
God, there's no pleasing user.
No.
Just get it right.
All right.
No, right.
Still don't get with the French words.
Whatever. But no, just very traditional, very old school, and I think we will find as we talk about these beers.
Beer.
Hi.
As we talk about these beers, we'll discover how traditional in the sense that they are.
Can we discover it together?
Yes, please.
While we're drinking beer.
Let's walk along the path together.
Okay, we're walking along the path. Okay.
Cut that stuff.
Can we start with Caperton's top 3 today?
Oh, you want to go back in the other way?
Yeah.
Okay, Fine.
Wow.
Good old boy Caperton.
Yes.
Let's start this off.
I'm just not prepared.
Man who's
And
afraid of kudzu.
Let me
Prepare thyself.
Yeah, let me
I
ask,
got
what
it.
are your top 3 picks for this fight?
I got it.
Okay. We'll start with my number 1 pick among what I will say, once again, is a very impressive pack of beers here. I really dig what Bob's doing. I think he's... And a lot of these beers, I'm going to probably try to avoid to use the same words over and over, but I think a big part of what he's doing is he's very focused on balancing these beers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just very subtle stuff. I mean, they're like little butterfly kisses. I did that for you guys. I did that for you guys. So meanwhile, number one.
I think that's a different. That's a different brewery, actually. So
number 1 is the Anne, which is the farmhouse with elderflowers.
be careful. That's the man's wife you're talking about.
That's right, and she is a gorgeous woman, no doubt, because this is absolutely a beautiful beer for me. It's floral. I mean, a lot of these beers kind of come off right away to me as being very floral on the nose, and a little bit of that followed into the flavor here with the elderflowers. I guess that's to be expected. And I'm reading here. I did not know, but I'm not sure that I know the difference. But he used fresh and dried elderflowers. And I do pick up a little bit of sweetness. There's a little bit of citrus going on there for me. And there was something weird, and I have to admit that I may be influenced here by other opinions, but I do think I pick up on a slight note of grapiness in this beer. I don't know. You guys can hit it again and see what you think. But but anyway, it's I was very, very happy with that beer, and I would give that definitely a SUDS rating of 5.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go. And let's see.
Starting off fast and heavy.
Yeah, number two.
Well, so the big question I always have when somebody's saying my beer has elderflowers in it, would you know what elderflower actually smells like?
Well,
it smells a little bit like younger flowers, but kind of musty.
Kind of like
he had to go there.
A little urine, a little old person urine.
Huh.
Yeah.
And how do you know what that smells like, Caperton?
I shouldn't have said that. I was trying to make some sort of elder care joke.
You just
didn't work. There's no urine.
Hey,
smell.
let the man be into what he's into, okay?
Well,
Who are you to judge his
I think
lifestyle?
my point is,
you're saying the elderflowers? It could have been anything, and it would have.
So I think the only
they could have put kudzu in that,
right?
Come
here, correct.
Come here.
That I always find it interesting that people always describe that they're using elderflowers in a product, and outside of frankly Saint Germain, which is actually a liqueur,
right.
Is about the only time that I can really sit down and describe, what do elderflowers actually, smell like? What do they taste like?
But I mean, they put them in there. They went to all the trouble using it. Why shouldn't they say they put elderflowers?
I don't know.
There?
It's just such a fleeting ingredient. You might as well say there's fairy dust in it.
What if you were deadly? What if you were deadly allergic to elderflowers? And they had them in there, and they didn't tell you.
What?
You'd be like, "Why didn't you tell me about elderflowers?"
That would be very interesting. So you're saying there's a bracelet on people in Tarpon Springs that goes,
Yes.
"I'm allergic to elderflowers."
If exposed to elderflowers, please call 911.
Yeah. You get a free T-shirt that says, "I'm afraid of kudzu."
Yeah, that's a burn.
Meanwhile,
back at the ranch.
Meanwhile, back at people who aren't jerks.
Sorry. My number 2 beer would be the Lectio Divina.
Woo!
Now he said that correct.
Which is his take on sort of a amber ale, which I think was there. I mean, I got a nice bready, malty character going on there. Honey, a little bit of toffee, maybe caramel toffee, a little bit. And just really, again, a nicely balanced beer with a lot going on, but nothing really smacking you in the face. Just very subtle.
Cool. What was your SUDS rating for that one?
I would say that is a 4. And then last but not least, the Traditionnel. Yes. Which, along with the Anne, I think had a little more Brett character for me than some of the other beers. It was a little sweet and a little tart, which I sort of like that combination whenever someone strikes
meets a gal.
And again, just really floral, nice Brett background going on there, and I would give that a SUDS rating of 4 as well.
Very nice.
So you think there's... I guess I missed that description. I didn't realize there was bread on the Traditionnel.
Let me try again.
No, it's right here in the description. I just didn't pick up on that. It's very subtle.
And it's also, well, I mean, again,
it's clean.
In keeping with it is clean. It may be bottle conditioned with a little bit of Brett,
Maybe.
It's, I just...
Well, I think, too,
a lot of pills going on there.
With all the open fermentation they do, you're going to get a blend of a lot of things going on. So, yeah, there's probably some Brett in there, but it doesn't mean it was the dominant yeast strain.
Right.
And it may have been a strain of Brett that doesn't really have a lot of funkiness or horse blanket or wet hay or cow poop or dingleberries or whatever the other flavors are.
Moo. What's the technical term for that? It's like agricultural manure.
Bovinus pupilictus.
What's the French word for that?
Le poop.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go next. I don't know what else to say here.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun. So my top 3-ish picks, because
that means there's 4.
Wow.
Well, there might
6.5.
Yeah, this is her love
might
letter.
be more. This is my love letter to Bob.
Well, we know it can't be more than 8.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. First of all, let's start with Anne. I mean, if this isn't, I guess the romantic in me is thinking, wow, what a beautiful beer to name for his wife.
A tribute to his wife.
No, I know, but I mean, besides that,
maybe his wife was named for the beer. Think about it.
Wow.
anyways.
Which came first?
It was, I mean,
maybe he made a beer named Anne that was
2 words,
delicious.
injunctive relief.
And then he was like, I need to find a woman who could live up to this beer and the name.
It's possible.
It could be.
It's possible.
But
please do not sue us yet.
But the point is that this is an absolutely stunning beer. It is so subtle and so delicate, but yet so complex in so many ways. I mean, there's a lot of flavor that's going on for how light and delicate it is. I was really blown away.
Those elderflowers.
There you go.
Well, and
it
could
supposedly.
Be. Okay, so no, so doing some research. Okay,
flowers that are older.
No, elderflowers are blue. They almost look like blueberries. Okay, but they're a little tart, and they're in the branch of like a honeysuckle kind of family.
Have any of you brewed with elderflowers?
No, not yet. No. But this is making me want to think that I need to.
So it's just fairy dust,
right? No, but it's making me think that I want to.
You're going to leave some behind when you go home?
Just for you.
If someone offered you fairy dust, would you turn it down?
Do I get to smoke it?
I'd need to meet the fairy first.
It's fairy dust.
Okay.
You can just own it, and it's going to give you the vibe.
Is that like fairy dandruff?
Do I get a free T-shirt that says I'm afraid of kudzu?
Fairies, I guess fairies, do they shampoo their hair?
Do they even have hair?
I think they do. I had to think about that
okay.
first.
Okay. Well, anyways. I think Anne is a very, very beautiful beer and very indicative of what Bob is doing in his art of the subtle, as opposed to his art of the in-your-face, super breaded beers. And I really love this one, and I'm giving it a 5.
Wow.
You go, girl.
I'm thinking this story had a big influence over that rating. So, yeah.
No, it just was a beautiful beer.
Right.
It was.
Mike just doesn't believe in love.
I don't know. I think it's a wonderful story. I just think the beer needs to stand up to the story.
It's a dang old fairy dust flowers.
Fairy dust.
Okay, so the next one, and again, this is what I mean. Caperton has already talked about it, so I'm just going to wax poetic on it for a minute. Is the Lectio Divina, but this is the beer that brought me to find out more information about Saint Somewhere. Yeah. It's an amber. It's butterscotchy. It's toffee-ish. It's malty. It's still delicate for the ABV on it. Yeah. It's a stunning beer.
It's the first beer I had from him too.
Yeah, well, I mean, for my first beer, this one really sucked me in because of how delicate it was, and I gave this one a 5 as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
And then quickly, I got one more to talk about, and that
I got a question after the break.
Okay, fine. After the break, we will talk about it some more.
But baby, the whole elation riding down this lover's avenue, as slow as a willow blows, or as fast as the whirlwind grows, we glide beneath the stars in cobalt blue. Look to the left, to the right, keep your eyes on the road, my darling, wondering if we're only passing through. Open roads and open windows, my hand is yours forever, sweet love. Our eyes ahead on these back roads with a view.
You and I will get one beer each, Mike.
Maybe.
Welcome back, folks. We are doing a brewery takeover.
Hi, my name is Mike, and I'm afraid of kudzu.
Hi.
But he loves elderflowers.
Fairy dust.
So, my question to you about this, the Lectio Divina.
Yes.
How about, I almost slurred all the way through that. I actually wrote down that I thought this was closer to an alt beer. And it's probably a running conversation that I have about a lot of things from Saint Somewhere with their descriptions, that I really thought this was much closer to a German alt beer than actually an amber ale.
I don't know. I mean,
sip, sniff, and swirl. Tell me once again.
Yeah, but there's candy sugar in there, and that's like,
I know,
but I don't know. I don't feel alt beer-y
really
about it. No,
I think maybe what it could be is that it's an amber grain bill, but then when you apply his fermentation techniques and yeast, this is the flavor profile that you get.
Yeah. Anyway, something to think about. I think if you're looking for an alt beer that maybe be, labeled as amber, this would not be a bad choice. So,
yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, I can get behind
it's
that.
It's got a sweetness in that kind of profile.
So. Numero 3.
Yeah, numero 3. This one, well...
And the final one.
Well,
yes, please.
Okay, I'm going to go 3-ish.
3-ish.
Sorry.
There's no stopping her, Mike.
No,
oh, my goodness.
Not. This is my love letter to Bob.
Half a beer.
This is my love letter to Bob.
This may be a 3-part series.
Whatever. The next one I want to talk about is the collaboration with Jester King.
Bootyville.
Almost made my list.
The Vert, I believe.
Yes.
No, what I liked about it was, okay, so it's a collaboration with Texas, and they're using Texas honey in this beer. Again, this is another very delicate but very complex flavor profile for this beer. I think it's bringing out the best of Jester King and the best of Saint Somewhere together to make a really extraordinary beer.
Yes. I'm nodding my head over here.
No, I mean, the color is light and beautiful. The aroma is very delicate, and the taste is just, it's a very delicate beer brewed in a very old school tradition.
It's
and
crystal clear.
Yeah, and it is. I mean, yes. It's another stunning beer, and this one is a 5 as well.
There we go.
That's called a dramatic pause.
I see. That was a Texas pause.
Sure. Okay, and then I want to do
honorable mention.
Yeah, I do want to do an honorable mention.
There's
just
only
because
5
it's so
beers
different.
in this honorable mention category.
Stop. No,
They're going to close the curtain on you.
I had a hard time
Where's
with
the hook?
all of these because they're all so really good. But I want to give a little love to Serge because I don't know that he's going to get any love from anybody else.
Definitely not.
That's
Darn,
where
you're
going.
darn
Okay.
tooting on that one.
So Serge is named after, there's an author named Tim Dorsey, and I believe he may be from the Tampa area. Anyways, he's a very popular author, and
Loves prune juice.
No, he may or may not love prune juice, but the point is that his character, his main character is named Serge, rather, and he's kind of the anti-hero. He's a very intelligent dude and a very complex dude, and I think
kind of raisiny.
You know, as this is warm,
I don't
that's
know.
Really,
It's
No,
actually
it's-
coming together a little bit. It's a good beer.
Liar.
no, drink it. It's
Okay.
really quite cool. Okay. So you're getting this vinegariness, but
Can I
you're
lower my
also
rating?
getting this plumminess. And
Yes, definitely.
yeah, no, but it's really.
You can add enus to any
I'm with you.
word.
You've
in
turned
an
me
Mexican
around
word.
already.
Negative.
I'm a believer now.
But I'm thinking of like balsamic vinegar with some fruits, and I'm getting. I just really am enjoying it, and it's sweetening up as it's warming up.
I think I wrote soy sauce.
Just like Caperton.
Name the top 3 relatives you'd serve this beer to. Nobody. So there you go.
I'd serve it to
because-
my little brother.
Got people you hate.
No, because
Oh.
I would probably enjoy
said
this
relatives.
by
I know.
itself.
I don't like to drink with my relatives.
Yeah.
All right.
I like
Anyways.
my in-law.
Okay.
I really enjoy
All right.
this. I really, really, really liked it.
Put a bow on it.
It was a lot different than expected, and I'm giving this a 4.
Had a girl.
I would give Serge a 3. I thought it was
And
okay.
a 2 over here. I drag
I'm
that
definitely
down
up
to
to
the
a
ground. Power rate, Dave.
Good old boy Dave. Here we go. Monsieur Ed. Great beer. Overall, I think it was one of their strongest offerings. It's sweet with a hint of tobacco. No, wait, that's not. I read the wrong note. Hold on.
There's no tobacco in Monsieur Ed.
No, there's
Balanced,
no tobacco in
malty,
that.
and sweet is what I put for Monsieur Ed, and I gave it a 4.
Oh, boy.
No tobacco in that beer.
It's a great beer.
Okay, now the Lectio Divina. I gave that one is sweet, and I did get a hint of tobacco in that one. A lot of toffee and some stuff, sugars and spices and everything nice. I gave it a 4 as well.
Powering right through this.
Well,
Yeah.
you know,
Somebody overshot
somebody was
their time
kind of
block.
dragging it out a little bit.
Oh, I see.
And then the Paille de Soleil, Cirque du Soleil beer.
Yep.
Funky, fruity, and tart. Oh, wait, I wrote that about Mike. No.
I really liked that beer too, though.
Yeah, no, I thought this beer
that was another really
actually
pretty
that
one.
was number 1 on my list.
It
at
was
one
a
point.
really good.
It didn't make the cut at all in the end. But
yeah.
At one point, it was when I drank it first. It
I
was
loved
number
it,
1.
and then I got over it. Yeah, no, I really thought this beer was Was a great beer, great complex flavor, very refreshing to drink.
I'm not a huge fan of that style, and this totally brings me into the fold.
All right. Well, we're folding Caperton in, and we're giving it a 4.
Good.
Wow.
Mike.
Hi, my name is Mike. I'm afraid of kudzu.
I thought we already did, Mike.
No, sorry, I'm dead last.
He just talks through everyone else's.
The cool thing is that Dave and I have exactly almost the same flight here. So, Monsieur Ed, top of my list, really great farmhouse ale. The ABV on 5.8%.
Did you get the tobacco?
No, there's no tobacco in this.
Take a puff of Ed.
I wrote down orange. Citrus was sweet. I was super clean. Yeah. I really enjoyed this. I really thought this was a different yeast strain than maybe their Traditionnel, which is kind of the house yeast. I thought there was some variance from that they had actually moved off that. Really great beer. I give that a solid 4. My number 2 pick is reaching out to our friends over at Jester King and Jeffrey and Company for the Saint Somewhere Jester King Bouteille.
Bootyville.
Yep,
Bootyville.
right, exactly. I said
aboard.
it correct, and I don't know where you guys were. My tasting notes on this Saison ABV of 5.5% is sweet, it's floral, it's light, a very nice citrus finish off this. Julieanna said it really well. These guys actually have made a better beer together than they probably would make individually around this particular style. Really great beer. Also another SUDS-4 on this.
Yeah.
Rounding out is actually one of the same beers that Dave talked about, and it kind of caught our attention. So I talked about a little bit of some of my beef with some of the descriptions of some of these beers. So the Saint Somewhere Pas de Soul is my number 3 beer. Their description is a Belgian style double. I don't know where that comes from, but I'm going to set all aside the fact that they've declared that ABV of 8%. That I agree with, but the fact that I actually wrote down a fruity double and a big question mark is not a good thing. I wrote that I really enjoyed the taste of this. Julieanna, I think, said plum. I thought it had stone fruit, a little bit of cherry off this. I really thought it was a wonderful beer.
What style would you classify it as?
You know, I would say that this is just a fruited saison. You know,
terrible description.
I know it's a terrible choice. I don't know. That's a good question, Dave. Hang on a second. Let me give this another sip.
Please pause while Mike takes another sip.
Wow. You know, it's definitely kind of like approaching a bit of acid off this. That would be like a early stage Flanders.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like a pre-Flanders.
You nailed it there.
Yeah, it's a light Flanders. You know, is kind of where this is headed. So
you know what? I'll give that to you.
Thank you. All right, just give me my free T-shirt. That's all I'm looking for, man. You know. You know, I wrote down different. Look, this is not for everybody, but I would say for people that maybe have not enjoyed Monk's Cafe or, you know, some other really great Flanders. Either, you know, someone that we've had here, the De Rouge from Yazoo, or even the More Rouge from Mantra that's out. Both those are really vastly different, you know, Flanders, Reds, all three of those. This is a good entry point, I think, for this flavor. That's good.
We talk about that sometimes, like an entry level.
Good on ramp for people to say, I'm not really quite sure I enjoy sour ales. This is a good way of approaching things. It doesn't have as much as the acid and the approachable aspects of
this would get if you had a girl who didn't like beer but drank wine, you want to get her drunk on beer.
Yeah. So we're going to write down another description for Bob. We're going to send that back to him and say, you made a great beer, just a really horrible description here.
Getting a little felonious in here.
SUDS-4 rating on
Felonious
the
Monk?
Pas de Soul, on the Pas de Soul, the SUDS-4.
Would you get a 7?
4. Got a 7. So, you know, there were some interesting things that, you know, I thought along the way that, you know, interesting flight, interesting brewery, you know.
Yeah. I would love to go stay. We're going to go stay at that bed and breakfast.
We all do it, man.
The Brett and
They
should call it the Brett and breakfast. Yeah.
So part of his deal, I just want to say this real quick. If you went down there on Fridays or whatever it was, when he was in the storage shed thing, and you agreed to help him bottle.
Yeah.
You just hang out and fill some bottles, put labels on bottles, put bottles in cases, and he'd send you home with a case.
Wow.
I don't think they're doing that anymore.
Probably not.
Probably not. No.
Have like 100 people there waiting
but that's so sweet. And I mean,
it was community. I mean, that's
part of being a small business. You know, you got to do what you got to do.
He's doing a lot, I think. There, it's more than just beer.
No, it is, and also just that whole traditionalness of, open fermentation in Florida. It's got issues of its own.
Yeah.
You know,
he's also a flip-flop wearing brewer.
Oh, no, I liked him right up to that point.
Yeah.
No, but
I saw a picture in the new facility of he and someone else. They're both wearing flip-flops.
Okay, well, we're not going to go.
I did that once.
We're not going to stay there.
I almost burned my toe off.
Yeah, but he's old school.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Pocket shorts, flip-flops.
Yeah, I dig it.
Or
I do.
Cargo shorts.
Yeah, cargo shorts.
Yeah. He's a big...
Like yours, but shorter.
Pants.
Yeah. Right. No,
he's wearing man pants.
That's right. With pockets for stuff.
Right. He's got stuff to put in there.
Lots of stuff.
A lot of kudzu and elderflowers.
A knife from a kudzu.
Yeah.
And a little bottle for
you come on, kudzu. I'll cut you. Come on, kudzu.
I was scared of kudzu.
Well, but also, like, in terms of Florida, you know, when I think of Florida, I think of the hoppiness of Cigar City and the crazy coolness of Funky Buddha.
There's a lot of in-your-face stuff.
Well,
Swamp
there is.
Head, First Magnitude.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, who are making some traditional beers and some very hoppy beers. But there really isn't, I mean, besides Green Bench, there really isn't a niche for this Saison farmhouse traditionalness.
Florida's a tough place.
It's a good place to brew Saisons, I would imagine.
Well, you know, the warmer temps.
Because he's making some really good stuff.
But, I mean, the water, you gotta keep control of your water. And, you gotta keep control of the weather, too, Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, having open fermentation with that heat and humidity and being able to make something good like he is.
Plus, you got to watch out for gators.
That. Yeah, wow. Open fermentation in that heat.
Right.
Wow.
That's what's blowing me away.
At Jester King is what they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think most of those collaborations brew there, right? At Jester King.
Probably.
It seems like to me, the ones I notice. Definitely do. You know,
the one thing that struck me about some of these beers is that working with Florida water is probably the most difficult thing. I've got to believe that is a daily challenge, for this brewing crew. Definitely. Yeah.
I think they're doing something right, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Well, I look forward to whatever they're making in the future and definitely trying out some more things.
Send us bottles.
Yes. For sure.
We love you, Bob. We all do.
Yes, we do. And hopefully
we'll never misspell your name.
Hopefully we'll get you in this state someday.
We'll send out a batch of T-shirts that says, I'm afraid of kudzu.
Yeah.
Wow. Just for Caperton.
Whatever.
Something tells me Mike's going to go out to his car and there's going to be full of kudzu.
Oh, man. I could already see that happening.
Never expose your weak link to this crew.
No.
Anyway.
Is there more beer?
There's always
more beer.
Got some round
I feel the end is near.
All right. Well, this was great stuff, everyone. And Bob, I hope you liked this episode.
Really?
That's going to wrap it up for today's SUDS episode. We hope you enjoyed this, and you can catch all of our episodes online, as well as on SoundCloud, TuneIn, Stitcher, YouTube, PRX, and Spreaker, our native media host. iTunes and our own Android app are the easiest ways to enjoy the show on your phone. Just search for Sip Suds Smokes on iTunes or in the Google Play Store. Be sure to tap subscribe, and then the show will always be on your phone.
We definitely love your feedback, and you can reach us online anytime at info@sipsudsandsmokes.com.
And our daily tasting notes flow out on Twitter every day at SipSudsSmoke, and our Facebook page is always buzzing with lots of news. You'll be able to interact with the hosts, with the thousands of other fans on those social media platforms.
Thousands. Do us a favor and take the time to rate this episode if you're listening still at this point to us online. That's a big help to us, and we get to see your feedback as well.
Right on.
All right. Well, I want to thank everyone, and good old boy Dave.
Whew, man, we made it through another one.
Yeah. Good old boy Mike.
Well, this was just another outstanding moment where I realized that I was actually afraid of a vegetable.
Right.
Please send all your contributions to help me get through my fear of kudzu. Mm-hmm. Ask you to join us once again.
Glad I can share that with you.
He is
keep
so
on
rude.
sipping.
And good old boy Caperton.
Hi.
This was fun. Had fun, guys.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
This has been a One Tan Hand production of Sips, Suds, and Smokes, a program devoted to the appreciation of some of the finer slices of life. From the Dude in the Basement Studios, your hosts, the Good Old Boys, will see y'all next time.